Hi guys, it's Carolyn with Crafting with Wine, and I wanted to come on and share my Peter Pan layout. So what I have here is the background layers that I've already put together. I used a 12 by 12 piece of craft cardstock. I inked around the edges of it. Then I used 11.5 by 11.5 piece of like a very muted aqua color of cardstock, and I inked around the edges of that. And then I have my top border, and what I've done is I used my 1/2 inch corner rounder, my crocodile. I used the 1/2 inch side of that and rounded the corners, and the reason I did that, and I only did it on the top corners, is because my top border was rounded. Now my border comes from the Cricut cartridge Holiday Cakes, and it is cut at 11.5 by 2.75 inches, and I did that so there was no pieces, little corner pieces showing through up here. Now my sand border portion is cut at 11.5 by 3 inches, and this comes from the Disney cartridge, The Best of Pixar, and it's going to go down here. And I inked around all the edges of those as well. Now the only other things that I inked around was my photo mats. And actually, as I was putting those together, I changed the sizes. So I'll have to measure those when we get ready to lay those down, because I did something a little different. They will still hold a 4 by 6 photo, my photo mats will, but they're very different in size. And then I did a video a couple weeks back on how I created and designed this in Design Space, this layout, so I'll link that below. And yesterday I did the paper piecing of Captain Hook, so I will link that video below too, so you can find it easily if you want to. So now let me find a ruler here. And what I did, this is my photo mat, and I did a craft layer in the back, and it's 6 3/4 wide by 5 inches high is the craft layer, and my green layer is 5.5 inches wide by 4.5 inches high, and that'll be the same on both photo mats. And then it will hold a 4 by 6 photo with a nice border all the way around. And then I used some yellow ribbon that I put around the edge here on this end and put a little bow, and I did a fake bow. It's not tied on. I just wrapped the ribbon around like so, and then tied a little bow to put down there on there. So let me lay my photo mat down next. And I am going to place it down here in the right hand corner, right there. And I used yellow because there's yellow on some of my cut images on the other page, and I just wanted it all to flow through very well. And I'm sorry, excuse me for just a second. I've got to get up and turn off my space heater because I think I'm going to die of heat exhaustion if I don't. Oh, thank you for that. Now, my next image that I'm going to lay down is Michael Darling, and I used my black glaze pen on the bear's eyes and the little pads of his little paws. And then on his nose, I used Winkostella. Now, Michael is cut at 4.26 inches wide by 3.59 inches high. And all of my Peter Pan images will come from the Disney Classics cartridge. And I'm not for sure if that's one that they just recently retired or not. So you'll have to check and see. If they haven't, and you want it, you need to buy it now, is all I can say. So, and I'm going to lay my little Michael down flat. In Design Space, he came over with a little pink pajamas on, and I didn't want him in those little pink pajamas. I put him in blue ones. And it's been so long since I seen the Peter Pan movie that I don't really know what color his pajamas really are. But I wanted him in blue, and it doesn't matter. So I'm going to put little Michael right down here. And then my next image is Don Darling. I have him cut at 5.46 inches wide by 3.11 inches high. And then on his little top hat, I used Winkostella all over it, and I did the same thing on his umbrella. I don't know if my camera's picking up the sparkle and shine of that, but I thought it looked cute. And I am going to lay John down flat as well. And if you saw my video creating this, you're going to see that I changed the background colors big time. On this layout. And I do. When I design it in Design Space, you know, you're limited to their colors, so to speak. And that's just, I just use them just to give me a general idea of what I might want to do. So I'm going to put John right there. And then my next image is Peter Pan that I'm going to lay down. And he came out really cute to have so many teeny tiny pieces with him. So he was one I was going to show paper piecing, but my Captain Hook took too long, so I didn't. And Peter is cut at 6.95 inches wide by 5.94 inches high. And, excuse me, I got a tickle. I'm going to lay Peter down flat as well. And my ATG gun is very, very squeaky today. It's probably screaming from heat exhaustion, if I was guessing. Or we're going to go with that anyway. So I'm going to put Peter right up here. And what I'm going to do is just make sure his hands aren't coming off the craft cardstock, and he's going to go right there. I got a little too much adhesive on his shoe there that I don't want on his shoe because I want the photo to fit under there. And I need to find piece of scrap cardstock and make sure that's the case, and it is. Fits under there just perfectly. It laid down so nice and flat and tight, I wasn't for sure. And then my next image is Wendy. Wendy came out cute too. And Wendy is cut at 6.57 inches wide by 4.20 inches high, and she is going to go down flat on my layout too. And she's going to go right up here. And again, I just want to make sure that her hand's not coming over the craft cardstock. And it is not. Now, I cut out tons and tons of little stars, and I use this scallop seashell as a little dish. And these stars come on an image that has 6 kind of slanted line of 6 of different sizes, and it comes from the baby on board cartridge. And I cut that 6 set of stars all together, and the size of those measured 4.70 by 2.22 is how I cut those. And I'm looking for my glue, my wet glue there. Okay, what I'm going to do is just lay these down first to see where I may want them, and I'm just going to scatter them on my page in no particular order, just very random. And I'm putting them all the way down my page because it's supposed to kind of be the night sky, because isn't that when they took off was in the middle of the night, obviously, because that's why they have their pajamas on. This is all I've got cut, so I got to save some for the other side, and I'm just sprinkling away here. So we'll see. We'll go with those for now. So I think that's looking cute. And I'm not going to take all the time right now on camera to glue those down, but I'm going to leave it right like that and move it out of the way, and then I'll glue those down for the pictures. So, just to give you an idea that they're just sprinkled about. So let me lay that out of the way. I got to be careful because those are loose and I don't want to lose my placement. Now the right side of my page, I've done exactly the same way with everything, and I've got it all glued down into place. And this time my photo mat's the exact same way. I just turned it portrait instead of landscape, and I've got it up in this corner. Now my next image that I'm going to lay down is my title, Peter Pan with a compass, and then I use my black glaze pen to doodle around Peter Pan, the words Peter Pan, and I'm going to lay it down flat as well. But here I'm just going to use my ATG gun on the compass part here, the bigger part. And then I'm just going to use my Ranger Multi-Medium mat for the rest of it. And now I forget if I told you the measurements of this. So let me see. It is cut at 6.48 inches wide by 4.09 inches high. And I'm also going to wipe away that one for a second, the E in east, because it may come over onto my photo mat too far. So it's a little sloppy. Yeah, it didn't. I could have left it on there. that's where that is going to go. It's coming right along, I believe. And then the next thing I cut was tons of these little cattails. And again, they come from the Disney Classics cartridge. I cut these at 1.58 inches wide by 3.11 inches high. And then I just doodled with my black glaze pen on each of the cattails to give them a little bit of dimension. And I'm gonna pop one down here behind that border is where I want one, and then I'll come back in and use some wet glue on the backs there eventually for the photos, just so that it stays down. I got another one here, again cut at the exact same dimensions. All my cattails are cut at the same dimensions. And I forgot to tell you, everything is paper pieced together but the cattails. And then I have Captain Hook, and Captain Hook is cut at 4.15 inches wide by 7.71 inches high, and he is going to go down flat too. My camera's doing a funny flash thing, so I'm hoping this is recording. I just looked up to see that. Oh, and I'm going to put the captain right down here. And then I have more cattails that I'm going to scatter around. That one there. Put that one there. And one there. And then I have my treasure chest. It is paper pieced together too, and my chest is cut at 3.95 inches by 2.70 inches, and again it is from the Disney Classics cartridge. And then I use my black glaze pen to doodle all around it, gave it some dimension and depth. It's going down flat as well. There's only one image on here that I've actually used foam tape to pop up. And I'm going to put my treasure chest down here in the corner. And then I have Tinkerbell. Look how cute Tinkerbell is. And she is cut, print and cut, which is the only other image at print and cut. And Tinkerbell is cut at 1.14 by 2.44. I used Winkostella on her wings, and I put teeny tiny pearls in the pom-poms of her shoes, and she's on foam tape. So let's pull the backing off of there. Oh my goodness, I've never seen my camera do that flash before. That's so bizarre. And she's gonna sit right on top of my treasure chest there. Then I've got a couple more cattails that I'm going to put down into around the front, because the treasure chest is hidden in the cattails of the swamp. I have to cut the edge off of that one, and then I got one more to put down. And I think I'll put it right there. And then I have a lot more stars here to sprinkle around, so we're going to sprinkle those down and around and see what we can do here. And then I won't glue these on camera either. That just takes too much time. At least you get the general idea of where I'm placing them and can see what I'm doing, or my thought process. And see if you want to do it too. And actually, I think that's plenty of stars there on that page, and that's what I'm going to do there. And look, I still have some stars left. Yay! So let me pull that over to the side and see if I can get the other one pulled in there as